Hello, this is Illyria coming back to you with another episode. Well, actually, this I believe is the second episode. However, it feels like I have been doing this for days. What ended up happening is somehow the audio when I was playing the game, it was coming up all jumbled and you couldn't even understand what I was saying. So bear with me as I go through and try to narrate to the best of my knowledge what has been going on since the previous video. Obviously, I have two new companions, my two little kitties, and I am trying to remember where I was going to be heading out to. Um, I know that I was going to be doing some exploration, but I can't remember what I'm trying to do at this moment. So I guess we'll just head out. Yeah, I had some issues with villagers trying to come in while I was sleeping. At this moment, I was making my quote unquote home base in the village. So they kept on coming in, so I just threw up a trap door so that they couldn't fit in, but I still could. So I did get some things done while I was between the first video and then the recording of this one. What I'm trying to remember is did I have any of the sugarcane started yet? Because that was on one of my things that I was working on was getting a whole bunch of sugarcane growing around. So, if I recall correctly, I am going around and looking for said sugarcane, and there it is. So, I did remember correctly. So, I never realized how difficult it can be actually trying to remember everything that I did days afterwards, uh, trying to figure out how to do these voiceovers. So, yeah. I'm pretty sure that I had a cartographer in town, village, however you want to call it. So that was one thing I was trying to do was make some paper so I can trade with said cartographer. And I also apologize that there's not going to be any background sounds like my little kitties or the music or anything like that. At least unless I can find a way to get the music part to somehow add at least a different way of getting the music. I am not sure how I would do that. But all right. What was I thinking then? Oh, I find it funny that that guy was stuck in the roof. Am I trying to figure out where I'm heading? Yeah, I was there already before. Is that the Iron Golem down there? I wonder if that's exactly what I'm thinking at that point in time. Is that how is he down there like that? He can't possibly be doing any good all the way down in the ravine. Oh, that wasn't my room, but yep, it looks like that's what I was doing was crafting some paper. And the next stop after making paper would be with the cartographer. Nope, that's not a cartographer. That's an armorer. So, was he on the opposite side of town? And I bet you I'm right back at, yep, yep, not, still not the cartographer. That's gotta be his area. And there he is. So just getting some emeralds. The first deal I've ever made. And will not be the last. I am sure. But how much do I have to be able to work with? Do any of you have any suggestions on what to do when your audio doesn't quite work out correctly and you have to do a voiceover? Like, how do you remember what you were saying at the time? Now, it's one thing if you're trying to do the video literally right afterwards, but even then, it doesn't always work for me. I have a not so great memory at times, but any tips would be well appreciated. Let's see, where was I going to be going next? Hmm. Was I going to start trying to find some additional, um, like animals or farming? Well, obviously, I have my little itty bitty farm there, but that's not really going to do much being that far away. Let's see. Moo cows and some chickens. I wonder if there's any Minecraft music that you can add to the videos separate from a actual regular recording, because maybe that can be a possibility. I just don't know what is or isn't allowed with it. Because it's one thing if the music is going on in the background while you're playing, a totally different thing if you're doing like what I'm having to do at this point in time. Okay. Well, it looks like whatever I was trying to do out on the other side where all the animals are has to be put off to the next day because it is getting dark. And I still don't feel quite ready to deal with mobs outside. I still don't have a shield at this point in time. I don't even think I got iron at this point in time of my gameplay. If I did, I don't have it on me right now. So back to the village I go. And hope it's before the monsters come out. And I know it is. Because that I know. And see, that was exactly why I put the trapdoor. All right, kitties, go find something. Or just lay there and do nothing. And I'm pretty sure that they just did nothing. I don't think I have anything of use. Doesn't look like it. I'm trying to think, where would I be going? The cat's head sticking in there. I find it funny when they do that. Now, that zombie flesh, I have no idea whether a zombie died there or if, a cat dropped it. I can't honestly remember whether or not cats bring that. I know they bring string, they bring chicken, rabbit's feet, stuff like that. I think they do the phantom membranes as well. Oh, look, one of my favorite screens because I never know where I'm going. So I end up having to check and see what my coordinates are to make sure I get back home safely. Because it would kind of stink if I didn't. I've gotten lost in the past before, very much so. But those times have been when I had commands available. I like it being called commands instead of cheats because, yeah, I'd like to be able to command the game to do what I want it to do. I just discovered yesterday also that if I remember how it was, it used to have the due daylights cycle or due weather cycle, and they have it something different now. I think it's like advanced weather or something to that knowledge. But why do they keep changing things from what people have been doing for years? Well, I've not been doing it for years. That is playing Minecraft. But still, if I see what I see here, am I at the point where I see it? I think so. In the distance, I believe I did see the cobwebs from a mine shaft. If I didn't, I am coming upon it pretty soon. Because my favorite thing to do with the cobwebs is to make string and take the string and make bundles. I like my bundles and then the fishing rods because it's the other thing that I like to do. Granted, it's really boring to watch, but I do like to do it. So I am pretty darn sure that shortly I will be making bundles so that I can be my pack rat that I am in game and in life. I've just got too much stuff. A minimalist I am not. Although, from what I understand, they have a lot less stressful lives when you don't have to worry about all this stuff. I am pretty sure I am going to venture back into this mine at some point in time once I have, my what is that called? Upgraded armor and shield and things. I was really hoping for a name tag there, but there isn't, wasn't, whatever you want to say. Anyway, um, yeah, because once I get a name tag, then I can start, naming my kitties. I'm also going to have to start getting some bones so that way I am able to uh, actually try and get my puppies. So, yeah, now I'm just heading back. Do I have the leather to be able to get those bundles? Yeah, I see it there. Did I do it? I better have, because that would be totally against character if I didn't. Yep, there's my bundle. Did I make my fishing rod? That I did. So, what did I do next? Empty my bags, maybe? Yeah, that looks like that's what I'm doing is emptying some of my stuff. Because, like usual, I have a lot of stuff. Why I have hay bales, I have no clue. Now, did I go? Uh, oh, it's getting to be closer to nighttime at that point. Yeah, I noticed myself smelting some wood so I can get my charcoal. Because if I'm gonna go out and do anything, I'm gonna need some more torches. Oh, I don't know if this popped up on the last video. I don't think so. But I apologize if it did. But I don't know if you've noticed that some of the buildings I have copper torches out. That is one of my little tricks that I use to know whether I have been in a particular building before, going in every single door again and again. So if I've been to that building, I'll just pull off whatever torch is on it if there is one and exchange it with a copper torch. I know it's a just a little something, but it's something that helps me remember for sure. Sure beats just doing other things to do it. I mean, like, I'm sure everybody has their own ways to know whether they went in a particular building or not, but eh, that's how I do it, at least since the copper torches came out. I think I used to just add like extra torches on top, but that became annoying when I needed the torches when I went out and did other things. Oh, and I am not sure how the volume's going to be on this because this is with um my new microphone. So, what am I saying? I've only had this microphone for the recordings. I didn't have it when I did the collab that I tried doing with TJ Metalhead. That was a total disaster when it came to sound. It turned out that he had his regular, built-in microphone with his computer, and I just sat right next to him, and I wasn't even recording from my own side. So any audio that he had in his video was me just picking up my voice on whatever we could on his microphone, which really didn't work very well. So that's when we decided we had to figure out a better way to work, hence why we now have our little simple chat mod. That's why you'll see the microphone popping up in the bottom left. That's when I just was speaking in the game, but couldn't tell you what I was saying then. Obviously, I've come to this side to look for animals. Just which ones, I am not sure. Obviously, there's pigs. But beyond that, what I was looking for, I'm not sure. I mean, like, I can always use more leather for more bundles, but I don't think that's what I was. Uh, I know that is something I can remember that I was talking about. I need to remember to put a fire and underneath that uh, beehive so I can start, you know, collecting honey or honeycomb because I do think it might be more advantageous to actually create a trading hall within the village, but not sure yet because I know a lot of people do their own trading halls in oh, poor horsey. Sorry, squirrel moment. Uh, the they'll do them in their own homes, or at least close by in their own personal villages. But since at this point in time I'm living in the village, why not take advantage of that? But we'll see. I don't know 100% for sure if that's going to be where I go with it. But if it does, then the honeycomb to make the honey blocks to keep them put where I want them to would be nice. Probably a lot easier to do it with the honey blocks as opposed to other ways that I've tried, like, involving the trapdoors and having them stuck in one house or room or whatever, but they're still roaming around in there. Using the honey blocks, I could just, you know, have them stick and stay there, and then they can't jump out. And if I don't like whatever it is that they're selling, I'll just change it out because it'll be nice to get mending books someday. So, are there any other games that any of you guys like to play besides Minecraft? I mean, like, apparently there is a world outside of Minecraft in the gaming world. I used to play World of Warcraft, then I got bored with it. All those years of playing. I just can't get myself back into it, so don't want to waste the money on that. But it definitely was enjoyable, especially playing with my family. But it was way too stressful when I tried to get involved with raiding guilds. Yeah. My main character is a undead warlock named, hmm, if you guessed Illyria, you would be right. There actually is a character named Illyria Windrunner in the game. However, that is not where I got the name Illyria from. Now, this would be another dating myself kind of thing, but long, long time ago. All right, it's not really that long. There's a TV show, Angel. Um, and in that show, there was a character that came towards the end, and her name was Illyria. But I couldn't get the name Illyria in Warcraft, so I changed things around, and then she became Illyria. And here I am, a long time later. I don't know. Warcraft is 15, 16. I'm not sure how many years, but it's over a decade that I've had Illyria. So I just can't get away from her. Everything's gotta be Illyria. Well, maybe not everything. My daughter's not named Illyria. That would just be weird. But I totally even just was on my own little, I have no idea what I would call it, squirrel. Little squirrel moment, I can call it that. And didn't even remember what I was putting into the furnace, which now I'm realizing was food. Oh, and I did make more bundles. And did you know you can put a bundle in a bundle? Definitely does wonders when you're trying to go out on these extended mining trips to having bundles and bundles. Now, take a bundle, have a few of them in the one, then I'll have a separate bundle to hold my furnace, my fuel, and my crafting table. So I bring them with me all the time. And then if there are things that I need to make later, like if I need to make more torches or something like that, I won't carry sticks. I'll carry logs and I'll break them down into planks and then break them down into sticks. So you can get a lot more space for other things because you're not holding them up with two, three stacks of sticks. Now, that would be a pretty big mining trip, if I say so. Oh. Now, trying to remember what I was going to do next after these smelting, not smelting, cooking the foods. I know for the next video that I end up getting up, hopefully I'll get it up sooner and not have so much audio issues. But gosh darn it, now I can't remember where I was going with my thoughts again. See, that's what happens when you're new at things and you mess up and then you wait till the last second to work on anything. You just totally forget everything. Yeah, all my kids stole my brain's intelligence and all that. I can't remember nothing. Hmm. It just sounds so silent when I don't hear the music and all that in the backgrounds. I can, get an idea what's going on just by the fact of seeing the uh, captions to the side and knowing when I was talking with the microphone icon. But beyond that, mm, I just have to guess. Or I could just, talk. Although, if you ask me, my kids say I talk too much. As I look around to see if anyone's gonna come right by and tell me that, "Ma, you're talking too much." Yeah, I'm probably gonna hear it when one of the kids inadvertently listens to the videos again. Well, not inadvertently. When they go and watch it, because they will. But all right. Am I going to go out yet? At least, outside of here. It's time to go out of the town, explore. Hmm. What on earth was I doing? It's like move this here, move that there, rearrange this and that. All right. Somebody is staring at me and laughing at me and uh, oh, that was one of the things that got missed on the last video. She was on the video, sort of. She was coughing and laughing and sounding like an old man wheezing. And she's giving me nasty looks now. Dare you? How rude. I didn't call you. I didn't call you an old man. I said you sounded like an old man. It's different.
I'm so sorry.
I can't wait until Squish gets her account up so she can collab with me.
I'm gonna dye your hair.
But oh, looks like I'm finally gonna head out of this place here. I swear, if I have purple hair dye on my forehead, so help me. I guess she just always has to butt heads with me. Don't do it again.
There's nothing on your cord. No. Do you not believe me?
Shoot.
That's so entertaining.
Oh, the pretty coral. I love coral, both in game and in real life. Real life, even more. But I would totally kill a coral reef. I'm just glad I still have my mochi and that I haven't harmed her. My little, how old is she? She'll be 3 years old in April. My wild type axolotl. And then her, you know, roomie's next tank over are her tetras. Well, not her tetras. If I put the tetras in there, she would eat them, just like they do in the game. They're little cannibals. I think there are.
Huh?
There are tetras in the game.
No.
Well, we'll go look. I could have sworn I saw a Tetris girl. A ship.
Whatever's.
I think I need to tell her how she could find out what the fish are. There's clownfish.
Just have your bake on it.
I'll have to do that in creative mode later. I'll put myself in creative mode, get some water buckets, and catch some fish. Are you feeding the fish?
And mochi.
Oh yeah, you always feed Mochi. This particular sunken ship was good because it had all three chests. I have a hard time finding them with all three chests. Is this cheating when I actually just, break the top and then go and get the stuff? Oh, looks like I got my iron. And it took me a bit to realize what that Nautilus armor was. I completely had forgotten about, the actual Nautilus that you can ride.
5.
So, oh,
I'm gonna go.
carrots and bamboo. Did I go back down and get anything else? I don't remember. Yeah, looks like I did. And I did get the suspicious stew. I think I was trying to decide whether I did or didn't want to. Now, I believe there's one more chest that I needed to get. Nope, it's not that one. I do that all the time. Yeah, so I have both copper and iron Nautilus armor. And a buried treasure map. Now, normally I would just, go back to where I was before and end up just going out another time for the buried treasure. But this time I decided I am actually going to look for it now. Because why not? It just makes more sense. I'm just doing a little cleanup. There we go. Get myself a little bit more room and start looking for the place. Not sure how far in the end game that I'm gonna get with this, but finding things in the buried treasure chests are always helpful towards that. Granted, I can't remember exactly what it is. I know you get the heart of the seas, but I cannot for the life of me remember what you do with them. Is that one of the things you need for the conduits? Again, that's something I've never done before. I might have to look up some more stuff for that. I can't tell. Did I start moving east yet? I am getting my east and west correct, I think. Yep, I'm heading east. So now it's just a matter of getting far enough. And I don't know why, but these maps are a pain in the neck for me to figure out sometimes. But they shouldn't. I know how to read a real map. The whole bleh, I can't talk. Topographical maps. Yeah. I was in, you know, junior ROTC in high school, so we had to learn all about the maps and had to actually go out. Not They wouldn't drop us off in the middle of the woods, but we had to have these mock, you know, situations where we had to actually use a map as if we were stuck out in the middle of the woods. We also were taught things like how to determine whether a plant is edible or not. Who knew? It's like, okay, rub it on your skin. If it reacts, don't eat it. If it doesn't, roll it up, put it between your gums and your lower lip, and if it reacts, don't eat it. But if you have no problems with it, then it most likely is edible. Not definitely, but there's a good chance. Oh, this is another thing I have such trouble doing is I have trouble figuring out where X marks the spot. And there it is. But it also is almost nighttime. So I am probably going to do my usual hidey hole. Why did I pick that up? Please tell me I put it back away or something. I do not need leather armor. Ugh. So, yeah, it does look like I'm gonna do the find a way to hide out for the night. Whether it's, digging down, which is my common way of doing things, or just I dig down, put something over my head, and sometimes I'll just play on my phone or I'll just watch some TV, something like that to just pass the time. Like right now, my passing the time in game is arranging what I've got. So, so this makes a lot of sense. I can't do anything else. Why not just go ahead and, move stuff around, see where it can go, blah, 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 blah. Am I ready to start going down yet? Because I can't see me doing something else all day or night. Yep, you're gonna do it. I knew it. Ah, Jeez, Illyria. It's like, what am I thinking? Like, how many blocks do I have to go through to think, is this the right thing to do? All right, there you go. Now you've got enough to be able to dig down without having an avalanche on your head. I wonder how long it's gonna be. I think I know what I need to make next time I'm on. Should I have it? And I think I might. I think I had redstone. Not 100% sure, but I thought I saw redstone. But redstone, gold. Let's go ahead and make compass and clocks. I'm pretty sure that's what you need to make. I know you need compass, redstone for a compass, but I think you need the compass for a clock, if I remember correctly. That and obviously gold. That way I know when it's safe for me to come up. I know some people don't go that far as what I am, like with all these little things with the bundles and the clocks and blah, 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 blah. But I need it. I need that kind of structure. Found both diorite and andesite on this round. I know I'm not going to be living in the village forever, so I need to figure out what I'm going to make that home out of. I could make it out of copper, although I doubt that. Maybe I'll make a castle. Nah, I have done instances where I have made castles, but with tutorials, not on my own. I haven't been able to be that good at it, but that takes a lot of work depending on the size. Even with the tutorial, I think Blue Nerd was the one that I did it. It took me over a month in creative mode to do it. And then it got lost because I had to move computers, and for some reason, it's no longer on my old laptop, which my teenage son has. Hmm, I wonder what happened. I could be just blaming him for nothing. I don't know what happened to it. All I know is maybe someday I'll do it again. Maybe not. Plenty of other things to do. Don't always have to build the same thing over and over and over. Although apparently I do need to dig down every time I got stuck at night somewhere. How far did I end up going? I hate when that happens. Knock your own torch down. Okay, I guess I decided I wanted to go check. I am hoping by now that it is daytime. Let's see. I'm trying to get it to where I can find out. Nope, it's not daytime. It's like, where'd it go? Dude. Huh. I don't know what happened. I probably just got stuck up top instead of coming out. Or andesite. Right now would be a great to do time set day, but I can't. When I was talking to TJ Metalhead the other day, about how I was doing this like he is and and all that, and he's like, "You don't have to do the survival like I do. You should have seen the look I gave him then. You're telling me this now, dude?" But yeah, it's good for the challenge anyway. Because how often am I gonna do it? Oh, am I gonna actually get rid of it now? Doesn't look like it. What's it? Hmm. Do any of you have relatives that play as well as I do? Like, at some point in time, all of my kids have played, and my sister. It's not as much as some other role-playing games or things like that. Um, like two of my sisters and my dad play Lego Fortnite and the well, my dad's only Lego Fortnite. The other two will play the regular Fortnite part two. That I don't do very much. I've done it. The last time I got on was when this is yet another game that my kids got me into, the Poppy Playtime Huggy Wuggy. If you have not heard of Huggy Wuggy, he is basically the um I call him the mascot. I don't consider Poppy the mascot at all. But he's blue, he's tall, furry, and he's got two huge rows of teeth. And one year, my third son was Huggy Wuggy for Halloween. Now, that was fun making that costume because anything you find of these kinds of characters don't come out the greatest. They look all cheap. Yeah, it was not cheap to make it, but he wore that thing as long as he humanly possibly could. So, looks like I got the iron. Okay, please get rid of the. This is where it would make sense for me to get rid of the map that I'm not using and the leather. Well, I got rid of the map because that makes absolutely no sense keeping a buried treasure map for treasure that's no longer there. All these different common sense things that I don't always have. So, looks like I'm starting to wind down on everything that I've got going on here. So, I'm going to try to keep up with what's going on and not talk too much over, if preferably not at all. But at this point, I would be heading back with my loot, make myself a shield. I don't know if I started making any armor. Oh, if I haven't yet, I realized afterwards that this particular buried treasure isn't actually that far from home. It's just on the opposite side of where I originally started the whole thing. So it shouldn't be too much longer till I get back home. And now I've got to just adjust myself to where I need to go. And I'll tell you this much because I know what happened after I got back home and started doing some, you know, basic coming up with a farming area and, all that kind of stuff. I knew what's going to happen. I will, next episode, be making my own home away from the village. But I'll tell you more about that in the episode to come. But I will tell you this, the little old villagers, after I had planted my carrots, decided to steal some of my carrots because there were little villagers running around. I'm like, how did that happen? Why is there a little baby villager? Yeah, and then I went and looked and there was they had taken my carrots. At least they replanted them, but it looks like I am going to be heading off for another day. I am not sure exactly when I tell you guys that. I should be doing that any moment, I guess. But anyway, hopefully this will work and I will see you in the next episode.